This is like a crazy amount of power for one piece of technology. And it's happened to us so fast.
You just launched GPT-5.
A kid born today will never be smarter than AI.
How do we figure out what's real and what's not real?
We haven't put a sex bot avatar in ChatGPT yet.
Superintelligence. What does that actually mean?
This thing is remarkable.
I'm about to interview Sam Altman, the CEO
of OpenAI.
OpenAI is reshaping industries.
Dude's a straight up tech lord, let's be honest.
Right now, they're trying to build a superintelligence that could far exceed humans in almost every field. And they just released their most powerful model yet. Just a couple years ago, that would have sounded like science fiction. Not anymore. In fact, they're not alone. We're in the middle of the highest stakes global race any of us have ever seen. Hundreds of billions of dollars and an unbelievable amount of human work. This is a profound moment. Most people never live through a technological shift like this, and it's happening all around you and me right now. So, in this episode, I want to try to time travel with Sam Altman into the future that he's trying to build, to see what it looks like, so that you and I can really understand what's coming. Welcome to Huge Conversations.
How are you?
Great to meet you. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
So before we dive in, I'd love to tell you my goal here.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you about valuation or AI talent wars or fundraising
Thank
or
you.
anything like that. I think that's all very well covered elsewhere.
It does seem like.
I'd like to talk about what some of those could be, because I'm not a historian by any means, but the first industrial revolution, my understanding is, led to a lot of public health implementations because public health got so bad, led to modern sanitation because public health got so bad. The second industrial revolution led to workforce protections because labor conditions got so bad. Every big leap creates a mess, and that mess needs to be cleaned up. And we've done that. And I'm curious, this is going to be, it sounds like, we're in the middle of this enormous leap. How specific can we get as early as possible about what that mess can be? What are the public interventions that we could do ahead of time to reduce the mess that we think that we're headed for?
I would, again, I'm going to speculate for fun, but caveated
you're not
by
a wizard.
I'm not an economist even, much less someone who can see the future. It seems to me like something fundamental about the social contract may have to change. It may not. It may be that like actually capitalism works as it's been working surprisingly well, and like demand supply balances do their thing, and we all just figure out kind of new jobs and new ways to transfer value to each other. But it seems to me likely that we will decide we need to think about how access to this maybe most important resource of the future gets shared. The best thing that it seems to me to do is to make AI compute as abundant and cheap as possible, such that we're just like, there's way too much and we run out of like good new ideas to really use it for. And it's just like anything you want is happening. Without that, I can see like quite literal wars being fought over it. But, you know, new ideas about how we distribute access to AGI compute, that seems like a really great direction, like a crazy but important thing to think about.
One of the things that I find myself thinking about in this conversation is we often ascribe almost full responsibility of the AI future that we've been talking about to the companies building AI. But we're the ones using it. We're the ones electing people that will regulate it. And so I'm curious, this is not a question about specific, federal regulation or anything like that, although if you have an answer there, I'm curious. But what would you ask of the rest of us? What is the shared responsibility here, and how can we act in a way that would help make the optimistic version of this more possible?
My favorite historical example for the AI revolution is the transistor. It was this amazing piece of science that some brilliant scientists discovered. It scaled incredibly, like AI does, and it made its way relatively quickly into many things that we use. Your computer, your phone, that camera, that light, whatever. And it was a real unlock for the tech tree of humanity. And there were a period in time where probably everybody was really obsessed with the transistor companies, the semiconductors of Silicon Valley back when it was Silicon Valley. But now you can maybe name a couple of companies that are transistor companies, but mostly you don't think about it. Mostly it's just seeped everywhere. And Silicon Valley is, like probably someone graduating from college barely remembers why it was called that in the first place. And you don't think that it was those transistor companies that shaped society, even though they did something important. you think about what Apple did with the iPhone, and then you think about what TikTok built on top of the iPhone, and you're like, all right, here's this long chain of all these people that nudged society in some way, and what our governments did or didn't do, and what the people using these technologies did. And I think that's what will happen with AI. Like, kids born today, they never knew the world without AI. So they don't really think about it. It's just this thing that's going to be there in everything. And they will think about like the companies that built on it and what they did with it, and the kind of like political leaders, the decisions they made that maybe they wouldn't have been able to do without AI, but they will still think about like what this president or that president did. And, the role of the AI companies is all these companies and people and institutions before us built up this scaffolding. We added our one layer on top. And now people get to stand on top of that and add their one layer and the next and the next and many more things. And that is the beauty of our society. We kind of all... I love this like idea that society is the super intelligence. Like no one person could do on their own what they're able to do with all of the really hard work that society has done together to like give you this amazing set of tools. And that's what I think it's going to feel like. It's going to be like, all right, some nerds discovered this thing and that was great. And, now everybody's doing all these amazing things with it.